I'm homeless. I've been homeless for going on for like 8-9 months now. Since it started to get cold, it's started to concern me because I don't want to be homeless. I want my own place and that. And it makes me feel sad that I can't get housed because I'm a single male. You know, I beg on the streets for food. Something to make some money instead of me asking just for some money, and I'm not giving no one nothing back. At least this way I'm giving someone a service. I'm on antidepressants for my depression, and yeah, that's it. You know what I mean? I just live day by day.
An hungry man is always an angry man. When you have something in your belly, you can be able to speak to people. If somebody is feeling hungry, so we started the homeless program where we started feeding them. We have free breakfast from Monday to Friday, which is from 10 o'clock till 12 o'clock 2 hours. On Saturday, we have the program with homeless people from 6 o'clock till 8 o'clock. Sunday, also 10 to 12. Majority of people coming from prison, they end up living on the street because they lose their lack of confidence in them, and their family, friends abandon them. They don't have trust in them. So being on the street, because of the advice session we have, we do a lot of referral to other organizations that can help them. If they have problem with filling their form for application for housing, we assist them. We plan this program so that to be able to help the homeless people to have a kind of skill in film making, and for them to be able to work with professionals and learn how to produce film. We try to equip them with skill that can be useful for them in the future. They can start start their own business with it. They can decide that if they are interested, they can start on that education. I think this project is a kind of a eye opener for a lot of homeless people. Because you are homeless does not mean you cannot improve on your talent, your hobby. There are a lot of people have hobby in this filmmaking, and we really help them. This is just a kind of introduction to assist them.
As an organisation, we work very closely with the council. If we ever do come into contact with homeless people in the street, we approach them, we ask them about their situation, and we do our best to direct them in the right areas who can assist them. We deal with antisocial behaviour, so if someone is said to be causing antisocial behaviour, then we have to obviously assist with that matter. If someone is begging, obviously begging is illegal, so we have to act on a police matter. If someone is doing something illegal, we have to act in such a way. So generally we will move someone on from the location, which, like I say, doesn't necessarily assist in preventing their homelessness, but we will move them on and say to them, go and seek help from the council, go to Citizens Advice, and try our best to deal with it that way.
I've been in prison a fair few times, and on this occasion I've come out of prison, there's been no help for me at all. Nothing at all. I've got a sleeping bag and a blanket that's in there, and that's it.
To be honest, I think I'm a victim of society.
There shouldn't be so many people on the street.
I worked for Lloyds Bank for about 1 year. Then we were made redundant. So after that, I couldn't afford my rent for about 5 months. And then I got evicted. Well, when I was homeless, I felt really vulnerable. I didn't feel safe on the streets. I felt cold. I felt dirty, and I felt a bit distressed and confused. I was in a daze most of the time. Only thing I used to do is pick up cigarettes off the floor because I couldn't afford any. I used to sleep on the steps of council flats because otherwise I'd have to sleep on the street. But somehow I managed to find a place to sleep every night. If it wasn't in a council block, I would find somewhere like where to keep the bins. Well, I had no food and no money, so I went to a restaurant. I had ordered a meal, and my excuse for not paying was I was waiting for someone, but they didn't turn up. I went to about 1, 2, 3, 4 restaurants, and on the 4th occasion, I was arrested and taken to prison. By the time I was ready to be sentenced and stuff like that, they said, "It looks like you've served the time already. 56 days is long enough." And the doctors talked to my psychiatrist anyhow. While I was in prison, I had a psychiatrist. And they said, "Yeah, we're going to section him and send him to Homerton Hospital." I went to Homerton Hospital for 3 months. It felt very unnerving, and I thought, I don't really want to be here. That was the main reason, because fires kept breaking out around me and stuff. So I just thought, I want to get my own place and my own flat.
I've been homeless for about 4.5 months. I've been in the country for close to 15 years, and it's been quite a bit because of a domestic situation, actually. And I had my wits about me, and I had to live by my wits all through that period, as it were. And it wasn't the best. Delivered to the rising sun and spent eyes drunkenly rest. Anyhow, this pilgrim's progress is plagued where I can buy a father's holiness from the public shelters I prostitute, but can't ransom righteousness to redeem my loan from hell. And until my spirit is won, my steps unhurried trudge every night.
Hi, my name's Mike Tomes, and I'm the manager of North London Action for the Homeless, and we're a small charity in Hackney that feeds about up to 80 homeless and vulnerable people per session. We have 2 sessions a week, but a lot of our service users have got mental health problems, mild, not severe, mild, and quite often caused by alcohol or drugs. It costs us about 65,000 quid to run the place every year. And we get that. We don't get any money from statutory funds, so we don't get any government funding. Acton is bakery, give us food, Whole Foods supermarket, and growing communities, which is that's where we get most of our food. We have to buy a bit, like milk and cheese and stuff like that, but on the whole, it's donated. A lot of schools give us food from their Harvest Festival collections. The number of people coming has definitely increased. I've been doing my job for about 10 years, and it's probably doubled in the last 10 years. Obviously, in the winter it increases as well. If in the hot summer you don't get so many people that desperate. But yeah, it's doubled in the last 10 years.
I was working as a legal advisor, and when I lost my job, I couldn't contribute to the household bills anymore, living with a family, so they want me out. So I am presently been couch surfing.
I've been sleeping in a church doorway since June.
I try to get money for a hostel. The second I get enough money to get a hostel, I get in out of it. Try and get warm. $12.50 a night and $2.50 for the dog. I'm going to go to sleep one night on the street and just not wake up.
I'm David's key worker, and he came to us about 6 months ago to this service. It's a step-down service, which means it's lower support. So there are staff here 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And David has his own flat. He shares with another person. So we work towards supporting him to move on to his own flat in the future, living independently. David is acquiring skills as in maintaining his flat, attending activities.
Staff prompts me every day to stay on medication, to keep the flat clean. We go on activities like going to the cinema. We go to this place called Chorus and we do paintings and music. I made a few songs and a few paintings. I feel like I've settled down really nicely. It's very homely and very comfortable here. And it helps to keep me grounded and very relaxed and very calm. The atmosphere is amazing and the people are very friendly outside. There's a very nice community in Hackney. Diagnosed me as paranoid schizophrenic. I experienced severe psychosis. You know, when you look at the television and it talks back to you and stuff like that, you hear voices. That's why I like this place, because I just stay at home and it keeps me sane and happy. Medication does work for me. And I have kind of a routine now. And if I don't take it on time, I do get a bit sick. So it's very important in my life. When I leave here, I probably hope I get a council flat. That's the next step. My whole life changed for the positive, and I have positive thoughts nowadays. I don't have bad thoughts about anyone or anything like that. I'm no longer angry with myself or with ending up homeless or with my friends or anything like that. I don't hold grudges or anything like that. I'm just getting on with my life very, very slowly and surely. I'm sure I'll get back to healthy again, and I'll be a very happy man.
Remember my school days, I would run amok. Art lessons, I was out playing money up. Mummy was a muggy drunk, she was doing drugs. And I mean the white type that they do in clubs. Thank God for my dad, he was Jack the lad. He made me realise what I really had. I didn't realise then, but I realised. And with his realise, he showed me a real life.
I put so much of my trust in you, but I don't know if it gets through. So I just roll my